it's not trash recoil altogether. It's just really not that great. Good play right there. So hello gamers, and welcome back to my ranking every single conversion in a category video series. That's a big sentence to say, but yeah. Today we're going to be ranking every single DMR conversion. Make sure to like the video if you have not, and subscribe if you're new. Check down below if you're subscribed. But first off, we have the Mark 11 500 Phantom, which is arguably one of the best conversions, if not just literally the best conversion in the entire game. This can actually... Wow, it's cracked. One-shot headshot at any range, and one-shot torso to like 65 studs, which is actually really good. That's better than like the AWS. And has this much RPM. This does have a pretty big downside. One, it does have quite a bit of recoil, but not too much. It's really not too bad. But number two, it has awful drop. It has 1000 velocity. That is literally like about 1/3 of the AWS. So it is really, really bad in terms of bullet drop, but up close, it doesn't really matter because it one-shots to the body. So even if you're aiming for the head, just hit the body. And it one-shots headshot all ranges, and it has really good RPM and 10 bullets. If you really think about it, this is kind of a direct upgrade to like every sniper rifle in the entire game. Don't tell the sweats that. I guess it does have quite a bit of drop. But I'm going to be real, like the drop is not too bad, and I feel like this is definitely going to be a 5 out of 5 conversion. Honestly, I love this conversion. I love the idea of it. The fact that it's so incredibly powerful, but kind of pretty difficult to use outside of close range makes it a really, really fun gun. Next up, we have buckshot and slugs on the SKS. I get a ton of comments to use these conversions, and I'm finally going to mention them in a video. SKS buckshot is kind of just a boring semi-auto shotgun. Recoil's pretty bad. The damage is kind of meh. It's kind of generic. It feels like an AK shotgun. Ranges are pretty decent. It can almost 3-pellet kill, which is nice, but it only has 7 pellets, and it can't actually 3-pellet kill. Not a bad shotgun overall, but then we have slugs. Slugs can almost one-shot to the torso, which would be insane, but they cannot. The drop is really bad. However, they can one-shot headshot all ranges. Here's the problem with them. Recoil's pretty trash. The velocity isn't really that great. People say that this is kind of a direct upgrade to the TCR. That's not really true. Yeah, you can headshot kill with them, but like the velocity is worse. Overall handling and recoil is really bad. Yeah, you could say this is a TCR side grade. It is pretty good. I just definitely do prefer the TCR because like recoil in this one is just strange. I do kind of like it though. You can go ham with this, I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of annoying to hit follow-ups with it. RPM isn't quite as good as the TCR, but like it is a very good conversion. Probably the best slug conversion in the entire game. So buckshot is gonna get like a 3 out of 5. I feel like it's just, it doesn't really need to exist, but this is probably going to be getting a 5 out of 5. It's definitely tied with the TCR. Then we have the SL8. SL8 is a very interesting gun. It has a larger magazine than like literally any other DMR in the game, but this conversion gives it 10 rounds. But it's a little bit like side grade to the SKS slug. It doesn't have as great velocity. It has somewhat similar damage. However, they can both one-shot headshot at any range, and they have exactly the same magazine capacity and RPM. And the recoil is significantly better. However, this one, I don't know. It's very good, but I feel like SKS slugs almost does it better, and also the TCR kind of feels better. This does have really good body damage all ranges, but the drop is like kind of, it's not that great. I don't know. And the RPM is just slightly slower than the TCR, so I don't know about it. I'll give it a 5 out of 5 because these 3 guns are kind of insane in their own ways. Next up though, we have the VSS Ventores, which actually has a 7.62 conversion. Now this conversion will lock you in semi-auto, lower your RPM, but will give you a 20-round mag and lower recoil, and it's pretty good for tapping overall. I said this conversion sucks. I don't think it really sucks. I just don't feel like it does like anything really that amazing or great. It's just a very tappy conversion. If you like the SKS and want a little bit more damage, I guess, it's pretty good. The velocity is very good, and the recoil is pretty good overall as well. I'll give it a 3 out of 5 because I feel like it just kind of ruins everything that makes the SKS such a fun gun, you know? I mean, the VSS. Did I say the VSS? I don't remember. Then we have the MSG90 with 308 Winchester. Now, 308 Winchester will basically give you the old MSG90, but a little bit better. It can one-shot headshot. It can shoot pretty quickly. 2-shot, but not really all ranges. And the headshot kill range isn't that great, but the RPM is good, and the velocity is amazing. Basically, if you want a TCR, but not as great headshot killing range or damage, but better recoil, it's a pretty good conversion. I wouldn't say it's like amazing or anything. I'm not a huge fan of it. I'd say it's probably a 4 out of 5. It's a good conversion. It does really well for what it does, and it does like, you know, one-shot headshot and stuff. I just don't feel like it does exactly everything it needs to be like its own amazing gun. And we have 6.5mm on the M21. Basically, if you want worse range and worse damage on your M21 with the advantage of having, I guess, 20 rounds and faster RPM, then this isn't too bad. It can 2-shot limb up close. Feels a lot like an MSG90. I'm not gonna lie, like the default one. It's really not that great for what it does, you know, it doesn't shoot super fast. The damage is fine. It can't one-shot headshot though. The default gun is not really like amazing on its own. Like, it is a pretty generic feeling TCR type gun. Once again, all the 10-round DMRs are pretty similar in what they do, but this one just kind of makes it a 20-round DMR that doesn't do anything too great either. I'm gonna give this one 3 out of 5. As you can see, it does 85 head, which is pretty decent, but not that great. But then we have the TCR ammo types, SOCOM ammo, which is basically, you can still one-shot headshot, just nowhere near as far, but you do get lower recoil and 20 bullets, which is nice. You can also two-shot with this gun in close range. However, it falls off super hard over range and doesn't two-shot anywhere near as far. In fact, the old TCR can two-shot torso all ranges. This definitely cannot do that. Can't even two-shot to like that range. 3 out of 5 on this one. It doesn't increase RPM, which is annoying. Then you have 5.56 on the TCR, and this is a very spammy conversion. If you want basically an SL8 but like better damage, then this is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, I'd give this one probably a 4 out of 5. Not great at clicking fast, but it's got 30 bullets and it does do pretty good damage. But then you have duplex binary kit. Now this will allow you to click and then release and shoot 2 times. When you do that, click, release, click, release, click, release, and you can actually shoot this thing at basically the full RPM very easily, and it does pretty similar damage to the default gun. It can one shot to the head if both pellets hit the head in very close range, which is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Problem with it is, of course, got 2 pellets and the spread is not that great, but it has pretty low recoil, 20 rounds. I'd give it a 4 out of 5 because it does do something very interesting for the category. I think it's like the only semi-auto duplex and one of like 3 duplexes or triplexes in the game. SA58 has 2 conversions. The first one is 5.56, which basically, if you want to still have very good damage, not quite as great, but still like really, really good damage, but 30 rounds and 600 RPM. This is actually insanely powerful. Probably would say this is better than any kind of extended mag conversion on any of the other guns. You can 4-shot limb all ranges, which is pretty good. It has 30 rounds and 600 RPM, very good velocity and very good recoil. The damage overall isn't quite as great, like, you know, 44. That's pretty good, but like not amazing. This kind of takes like VSS and like any of those other semi-automatic 20 to 30 round DMRs and just puts them in the dust. This thing is great. Like, it does what it does really well. And we have one of the most broken conversions in the entire game that nobody is talking about, which is 45 ACP on the SA58, which gives it 50 rounds, 700 RPM, and 50 to 20 damage. If you had a good trigger finger, this would basically be the best gun in the entire game because it can 2-shot limb up close, 5-shot all ranges, 700 RPM, very low recoil, and it's got 50 bullets. And if you really think about it, it has the same RPM as every foul in the game. So imagine 45 ACP on the fouls, except it can 2-shot and it has the same RPM, but it has like better recoil, better ranges, better velocity, better damage. It's insane. I'm not really that great at shooting too fast with it, but like I can see why it would be so broken. I just, you know, I'm not that great with it. If you have a good trigger finger, check this out. It's insane, but like it is semi-auto. If it was full auto, it would literally be the best gun in the entire game, dude. It's crazy. Clearly 5 out of 5 for this one. I just really can't use it. If I was great at clicking fast, it would be amazing, but yeah, I'm not that great at clicking fast, as you can see. Last up, we have the SCAR SSR. The SCAR SSR is probably the most niche conversion in the entire game, I think. This conversion increases velocity, lowers damage by quite a bit, lowers your RPM. It doesn't give you an extended mag, so what does it do? Well, I guess you get higher velocity and you can one-shot to the head a little bit farther. So if you only hit headshots with this gun, and as you can see, even there, didn't headshot, then it's good. But other than that, it's actually really bad. If you're not hitting headshots, do not use this ever. However, if you're cracked and you want a little bit extra headshot kill range, that was 109 studs, which is actually not as far as I thought. The TCR can kill from that far. The only real advantage is the headshot killing range, but the body damage was so good before. The headshot killing range was completely fine before as well. At losing basically your 2-shot at range, which before it could 2-shot very easily all ranges, and losing damage and losing RPM is so weird. It should increase your RPM. Really bad conversion. I hope they buff it in the future, and they haven't really said anything about it, so maybe they're not gonna, but yeah. Anyways, gamers, if you guys did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe if you're new. Wow, okay. Comment down below your favorite of these conversions, but I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. Have a nice day.